All right, guys, we got Philip Turney. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Turney?
Yes, Turney.
Correct. Perfect. He was one of the seamen on the USS Liberty in 1967 that turned out to be a war of mistaken identity or something. Something happened. He's going to tell you the story, which is fascinating. And basically, you were in Europe, right? Somewhere in Europe when this happened.
We were in the Pacific in Africa at
Okay.
the time. It was where we
Tell us
were
the
headed.
story from the beginning, what happened, and then hopefully we're going to get a really nice piece on you talking to President Trump regarding censorship in America, so that we can extract that piece and put it in the movie Dear Mr. President. Welcome to the show, brother.
Well, welcome. God bless you. And it's all part of glory of God that I'm even here right now. All glory goes to Him. But yeah, we were on a regular tour to Africa. We went from the north to the south, up and down the coast, about 4 or 5 knots, day and night, day and night, day and night. This is the last cruise in 1967. We left in May, and we ended up in Abidjan, and we got emergency orders to go to Rota, Spain. We did not know what was going on or anything like that because nothing has ever happened to us like that before in that ship. I might add, USS Liberty was the most sophisticated spy ship in the world at that time. There was none better by any government. That was the cream of the crop spy ship. We get into Rota, Spain. We pick up linguists, 3 Marines, uh, a couple civilians. One of them is Alan Blue. By the way, 2 of the Marines were killed, and the NSA CIA guy, Alan Blue, was also killed during the attack. We get orders to go to the Mediterranean off the coast of the Sinai. We arrived there on the 7th of June. Immediately, we were getting aircraft from Israel circling our ship and circling our ship. Our flag was there, waving at all times. Our ship was the easiest ship in the world to identify, according to Admiral Thomas Moore, and he was an expert on that. And he said nobody couldn't identify that ship. It looked like a giant lobster, were his words. But they went around and they went around. They circled us all the time and all the time, dipped their wings. We'd wave, they'd wave. Because we had asked for a destroyer escort, but were denied twice, not once, but twice. Captain McGonigal asked for a destroyer escort, which was denied. And also, Commander David Lewis, head of the research department of all the spies, requested one, and he was denied. So we were in a war zone all by ourselves, always in international waters, 12.5 miles off the coast of the Sinai. We could see bombs going off, being dropped, black and smoke. Uh, I mean, it was crystal clear what was going on. We were that close to see it. The next morning, we got up. The same thing was all over again. We get up, go to chow, do our work, go out and sunbathe, or do whatever you want. And suddenly at 2 o'clock, the attack began with unmarked jet aircraft. But I will remind you, these aircraft on the Israeli side before the attack were clearly marked Israeli, clearly marked. So these are unmarked jet aircraft that were attacking us. And they were from Israel, but we didn't know it at the time. We thought the Arabs come to get us because we had Stars of David all through our ship, because we wanted Israel to win, because they were our allies, we thought.
Who did you suspect it was at that time?
We thought it was the Arabs. Yes,
You,
sir,
you
we
didn't
thought it
think
was
it
the
was the
Arabs.
Israelis.
No way.
When did you find out that it was the Israelis?
when the torpedo boats showed up. But that's when we found out they were the Israelis. But, to get back to during the attack, they took out all of our antennas within 3 seconds with these jet aircraft. There were approximately 30 sorties. That's 30 airplanes coming at us. They fired rockets, cannons, machine guns, napalm. They shot anybody on deck they could. I mean, it was a slaughterhouse. It was a slaughterhouse right before your eyes. We went to our general quarters stations. Terry Halbardier had finally gotten out of signal. The air attack lasted about 25, 30 minutes. Terry Halbardier hooked up an antenna that he took offline. That's why they didn't hit the antenna, because they were using heat-seeking missiles. And those antennas would put off waves, heat, where they went down and they took them all out in 3 seconds. That's how fast it was. But this one was taken offline. We got a message out. Rockstar, under attack by an unknown jet aircraft. Unknown jet aircraft. They heard it from the 6th Fleet. The 6th Fleet picked it up. In fact, it went out around the world. It went as far as Vietnam. They heard that. We were under attack by unknown jet aircraft. Captain Tully off the USS America sent jet aircraft to come to our aid, only to have McNamara recall them before those planes hit the horizons. Do not help Liberty. Go back to base. A second volley came off from the America and Saratoga. They launched again. Captain England off the America. Those were recalled again by Lyndon Baines Johnson. He says, I will not embarrass my ally over a few dead sailors. Return to base. How did he know was attacking us if we didn't? We didn't have any idea who was attacking us until the torpedo boats got there. So we go through another hour and a half of pure hell with the torpedo boats circling our ship. They fired 5 torpedoes at us. One of them hit the starboard side and blew a 40 by 40 foot hole in it. It picked the whole ship up, slammed it back down in the water. We thought we were going to roll over. It went over the side about 10 degrees and it just stopped. Oh, power goes to Jesus Christ for that. Nobody else come to help us but the dear Lord. So this went on for another hour and a half. Rock cannons, machine guns. We put over only 3 life rafts over, because the rest of them were burned up or shot up by napalm and the cannons or whatever, everything else that was shooting at us. We only had 3 left. We put the life rafts over and they shot them out of the water. They shot 2 out of the water and took one of the boat aboard their boat as a trophy of the kill of the men of the USS Liberty. When we got into Malta, finally, after the America got there, they took off the most wounded, but I'll tell you, that night was rough. Nobody came to help us. They didn't even send for Piper Cub. I helped with one operation with Dr. Kiefer. This friend of mine, David Skolak, was hit bad. He was hit real bad. Doc, and I was holding a battle lantern up for him. He cut him open, and in a few seconds he was dead. He was gone, and that went on all night long. And then we get into Malta for repairs, and they fixed the ship up like it was brand new. But on the way to Malta, Admiral Isaac Kidd comes aboard our ship with Ward Boston to take interviews with the crew. Tell us what happened. We want to know everything. They shot 2 of our flags down, and we put up another one at 7 by 13, which stayed on the ship. So they consistently got these people on there for the cover-up immediately. The cover-up was on its way. He interviewed all the survivors that were left that didn't get taken off the ship for their wounds. We got the small groups, and he ordered us, don't you ever say a word about anything, what you told me, none of you, of what happened, or I'll make sure you end up in prison or worse. You know what worse means? This comes from a flag admiral. He said, yes, sir, we know what worse means. In other words, keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. We were put under a gag order.
For how long?
Well, till I broke it 18 years ago, the survivors finally got together and we started breaking it. We said, to hell with this. To hell with this. We're not going
And
to let them do this to us.
and did the government or the cabal government come after you and try to stop you in any way?
Of course, they've come to stop us. They do it through the Congress.
Have you been censored on the story?
I have not been censored by the government, but the government
How about social
denies
media?
no social media. They get it. Social media gets it. Our congressmen is the one that are the ones that block us. They say they've had 5 congressional investigations. They're liars, all of them. There's never been one. You write them, and this. There's been 5 different congressional investigations. They're all lying to you on the Democratic side and the Republican side. It doesn't matter. They're all bought and paid for. They're all Zionist AIPAC people. Hell, they just got a bunch of them back from indoctrination in Tel Aviv a week or so ago. If you go to Congress, you have to go through Israel.
Totally.
But that's what's happened to us. They block us. They don't want us to tell the story, man. They want us to just die out. We are dying out. We had 4 or 5 die in the last few months. But we're going to keep on going and keep on talking until we can't talk anymore, because when they attacked our ship, they attacked America, and they got by with it. They got by with murdering American sons and daughters. We were set up by our own government to sink, blame it on uh, Egypt, and go to World War III. They had SAC aircraft in the air even before our ship was attacked, ready to attack Cairo. Russian subs were under us. American subs were under us. That's how close we were to World War III. If our ship sinks, they blame it on Egypt, America, and Israel would have gotten exactly what they wanted, World War III, because of LBJ. He's a dirty, rotten son of a bitch that set us up to be murdered, and I'd like to go piss on his grave. That's what I feel about that guy.
Well, you have
All
every
of
right
us
to be
do.
pissed off, sir.
Yeah, they wanted us all dead. We were all marked for death and didn't even know it. Didn't even have a clue, but we were marked for death when they sent us there to be slaughtered. And they got by with it. No more. No more. Israel is not going to get by with murdering Americans on the high seas. And we're witnesses to it. We're not lying. We're here. We're alive. So this country's got to do something about it. They got to do something about it now before we're taken over. Worse than we are. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Massey get it. Maybe 1 or 2 more, and that's it.
How much of that government in Israel is corrupt? I mean, besides the banking system, the bankers, obviously, we know that they're all corrupt. The political system, is there any good people inside the government or the cabal in the Israeli infrastructure?
Boy, that's a tough one to answer. I'd say probably not, because they don't get there not unless they stick together. And that doesn't. Now, I'm not talking about all Jews either.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 2 governments, people that run these 2 powerful governments, and one person is pulling the strings pretty much. But to me it is the USS Liberty is a straw that broke the camel's back of the Zionist state. when the world and this government admits what they did. They must admit what they did. They set us up, but we tricked them. God saved us for this day. That's why I'm alive right now. And I've been pissed off for 58 years, and I'm still pissed off. So's my crewmates. We deserve to be. We've been treated like dirt. Most of us, they settled with us for $200 that signed this or worse. So we signed it. So that's what they did to us. They've been doing it by denying us justice. They're denying America justice. All presidents from LBJ to Trump hasn't lifted a finger to help us.
You think Trump knows about the story?
I would assume so. He's the president of the United States. I mean, he knows everything about Israel. You know, he supports them.
I don't think he's playing too much on their side, to be honest with you. Not right now. Netanyahu and him are not necessarily best of friends these days.
Well, that's good to hear. I've heard the same thing over and over, but what's going on in Gaza's got to stop. I mean, that's still bothers. I think it should bother the world.
Yeah.
So that's, pretty much where I come from. The USS Liberty survivors want to do it for our children, for your children, your grandchildren, America. We got to take back our country.
There's no question about that.
And this is the needle to start getting that thing done. It'll bust the back of them, because they'll have to admit that our governments are too involved with Israel. And it began a long time before 1948. They were grooming people. So that's just pretty much where I stand. And, that's about all I can tell you.
Well, Phil, I tell you, we're in a war right now. We're in a war with social media giants who don't allow people like myself and a lot of podcasters out there to get their message out, because they feel that we have, personally, I think they know that we have a lot of truth coming out, and they want to stifle that truth. And they're doing everything in their power from a technological standpoint to be able to stifle. Some people are stifled more than others, me included, obviously. And so this is why I came up with the movie Dear Mr. President, which I'll play a little clip here just for the audience sake. Let me go ahead and hit the sound. And I think, we're going to get the message across. I hope the movie does end up on Donald Trump's desk. But, obviously, if our microphones were able to speak freely and everybody played by the rules, a story like yours would literally catch fire. Why? Because you'd be talking on Mel Carmine's show, where maybe I have 8 million or 10 million listeners, and all of them will get the notification as soon as you come on my show. But they're not playing fair, obviously. So we have all these, communist factions, if you will, that has infiltrated every aspect of our government. And that's where the problem lies, in my opinion. Let me know if you can see my screen.
I can. Thank you.
Right.
Dear Mr. President.
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 Dear Mr. President, when did freedom of speech become a crime? In the land of the free, voices are vanishing, opinions are policed, truth is under fire. They say it's about safety, I say it's about silence. Who's watching the watchmen? Who's filtering your feed? Who benefits from your silence? From the classroom to the newsroom, from Silicon Valley to Washington, D.C., who decides what you can say?
Censorship.
Censorship. Censorship.
The censorship.
Censorship. It's a much bigger threat to democracy than anything that we've seen in this country in the last 4 years, in the last 40 years.
Our First Amendment is under assault, not just by big tech, but by government agencies. Voices are being silenced.
A world without censorship would mean we can freely expose the elections and, of course, child trafficking. I believe the American spirit would kick in if they had access to the real information.
We've had channels taken down from nearly every form of social media. We knew when you uttered the term fake news that you were up to something different. We're honored to contribute to this documentary on censorship.
I have only one thing to ask. I just only want to see some accountability from somebody. Just pull that pin and throw that grenade already, buddy. That's all every American wants to see, is just some accountability for the crimes against us all. Thank you, sir. And long live the Republic.
We're going to take a fight to them, that's for sure. We're not interested in just winning a small battle here. We want to win the entire thing. We want to become the new mainstream media, if you will. Because if we become the new mainstream media and we control the airwaves, then they got a real fight on their hands. Would you agree with that?
Oh, Mel, absolutely. I mean, by the way, that was kick ass. I mean, that kind of just drew me in. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's great. But
The movie
yeah,
itself is 100 times more powerful than the actual trailer.
right.
I'll say that right now.
Oh boy. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, man, for you to let me be part of this is
Yeah. Tell President Trump in your own words that the freedom of speech, this war that's on freedom of speech, the censorship, has got to stop. In your own words, how would you tell Mr. President this has got to stop?
dear President Trump, this has got to stop on censorship. And I can tell you, the USS Liberty survivors knows more about censorship than most. We've been censors all of our lives. So to you, sir, Mr. President, President Trump, keep America strong, keep our republic strong by telling the truth of what happened to the USS Liberty, and we cannot have censorship anymore, sir. Please do it for America. America deserves the truth. The Republic needs to stand together as one country. God bless America.
Thank you, brother. That's awesome. And I'll make sure that Mr. Goodluck clips that little piece out and puts you directly in the documentary. So, look, this is a story that needs to get out, and anything I could do to get you on other podcasts. I know that Carol Maureen knows just about everybody I know, and we can get the story out, but we need these things unclogged because, see, if the audience, for example, argument's sake, says, hey, Mel Carmine is simpatico and he's allowed to grow to 1 million or 10 million followers, there should be no algorithms or technology that dictates that. You understand? I should be able to grow, because if you're stealing my audience, you're also stealing my money. Aren't you?
Yes. It just like tonight, last night was my first show. I tried, but then we had a technical issue. I'm new at this. I'm doing it mostly myself. But tonight we're going to try again. It'll be on X, and then we'll get it on YouTube and stuff like that. But hey, man, I've been waiting this for a long time because letters never worked to the Congress, to the Senate, or presidents. I've written them all, man. That never worked. But to have this kind of freedom and on the airwaves, I never could believe it. I did radio and stuff like that on RBN for a couple of years, trying to get the word out, but it was mostly the same listeners. But people are starting to wake up. The younger people are, which is cool.
Yeah, we could take the country back, but it's going to take a few guys that have a little testosterone left to stand up saying enough is enough. This is not going to stand.
Hey, I'm blessed to be born here. Now, hey, I love serving my country. Believe me, I did. I loved it. I was the proudest man in the world.
Well, thank you for doing that, sir.
Well,
thank you for doing that.
I appreciate it. And listen, you can plug my podcast too, Phil Turney podcast, if you would.
What is your channel name?
Channel name.
Yeah. What is the name of your channel?
I have to ask my son. He does all that.
Well,
Shit.
I'll have more Carol Maureen send me your link, and then I'll include it directly underneath this video so people can find you. So, guys, find his link below. Go give him a follow. This is a war hero, and his story is being censored because some people upstairs who were trying to start World War III because it makes money. The war makes money for some people, okay, and they don't care. They're willing to just blow up the rest of the world and go live on some freaking other continent somewhere. And I'm sure that the planet's probably a lot bigger than they're telling us. And I'm sure it probably is flat.
Yeah,
Okay?
it is.
That's
Well,
a whole
I
other
appreciate
argument.
it. Yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I appreciate it.
We got a planet that's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and the water's being contained in an ocean that's got 900 quadrillion gallons of water. I don't think so. That sounds like a bullshit story to me.
Yeah, I understand that. I
You know?
understand what you're saying.
Phil,
I
it was
get
a
it.
pleasure meeting you, brother. And I look forward to seeing you in person. I got to fly out to Dallas here. We got two movie theaters. One is actually an art gallery. There's going to be hundreds of people there. And one is a healing center, just like mine in Cape Canaveral. If you ever get down to Cape Canaveral, I'd like to give you a couple of days on the house, free of charge. Come down and get some healing.
Oh, I'd love that.
We take care of our veterans here in Cape Canaveral.
God bless you for that.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
it's my honor. Thank you.
Yeah. We, as a matter of fact, we have a military Monday at stayingalive.com. Staying alive with 2 E's at the end. And we get the military people come down every Monday and they stay free of charge for 2 hours every Monday. Military Mondays.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. We'll talk soon.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.